What's shaking YouTube? It's your boy Graybeard Gamer, bringing you our very first best class setup of Black Ops 4. But before we get into that, make sure you knock the hell out of that like button. And if it's your first time here, make sure you subscribe. We got lots of tip videos, best class setups, anything we can do to help make you the best Black Ops 4 player that you can be. But without any further delay, let's go ahead and jump into the class. As you can see on screen, we're running the Spitfire with ELO, extended mags, fast mags in stock. Those are all a must, in my opinion, to make this a beast weapon. As a gear, we're running Comsec device, and our perks are Tac Mask, Gung Ho, and Dead Silence. This class right here is absolutely phenomenal. It's a beast class, and I highly recommend you run it. Let's go ahead and jump into the performance of this weapon. This class setup allows you to play flexible. If you want to play fast, you can play fast. If you want to play a little bit slow and methodical, you can do that as well. This class is overpowered because the weapon itself is overpowered. Anybody who's used the Spitfire knows that it's a melt machine. It will melt your enemies. The biggest con on the Spitfire is the recoil, but once you get used to it, if you play with it for a few matches, you're gonna get accustomed to that recoil, and you're gonna be able to defeat most of your enemies in a gunfight. Really, the only reason you should ever lose a gunfight with the Spitfire and this class setup is if you play too fast and too aggressive, and you put yourself in a position where you're trying to take out multiple enemies at one time and they're all shooting at you, or if your aim is not very good and it's something that you need to work on. So as long as your aim is on point, this class setup is going to work well for you. You can get a lot of streaks, and you can stack those streaks over and over again. That's one thing I noticed using this class, is I was able to stack several of my streaks, and I was able to get strike team and things like that. Whereas normally it's pretty difficult, especially if you're using a weapon that's kind of a powder puff weapon like the ICR or something like that. The ICR has its pros because it doesn't have recoil, but it takes a long time to kill, and that's a downside. This class does not have that. This class, up close, you're going to win those gunfights one-on-one. You should never lose a one-on-one gunfight with this weapon. And the specialist that you need to use with this class is you need to use Crash. And the reason being is because you don't have Scavenger, so you're not going to be able to pick up extra ammo, and you will go through your ammo with this class. So you want to make sure that you use Crash. You're also getting the extra XP, which I run Crash usually regardless of whatever class I'm using, simply because if you're playing Domination, you get 125 per kill once you pick up your own ammo, and then you get 25 XP for any ammo that's picked up by your teammates, and you get 100 points typically if all your teammates are alive when you up their health to 200. So running Crash, especially with this class, is a must, and it helps you get to your streak. So it's fantastic to use. It's an amazing class. A couple of cons that you need to be aware of. We talked about it a little bit earlier. The recoil. You just got to get accustomed to it. And I will tell you, once you max out this weapon, if you throw on the weapon variant or the mod, the Wildfire, and you use that for a little bit, the recoil on the Spitfire will seem like nothing, because the recoil on the Wildfire is very high and very difficult to control. Wildfire, you will not beat the Wildfire up close. You can hit fire, but over range you're not going to be able to hit with it. But if you use that for a little bit, you'll be able to manage the recoil on the Spitfire very easily. Another con that I noticed when I was playing with this class is I tend to try to play too fast with it, because you're overconfident. You become confident. You start getting on a roll, and you're winning a lot of your gunfights, so you start to become overconfident. You want to hurry and get those kills instead of focusing on staying alive, which we discussed in the previous video. So you want to focus on playing your game and staying within yourself, which means play at the speed that you're comfortable with, play to stay alive, and those kills will come. This weapon will absolutely destroy the enemy. You're going to win those gunfights 99.9% of the time. Anything up close, you're probably going to win. If it's a draw, if you guys aim down sight at the same time or start pulling trigger on each other at the same time, if they're not using the Spitfire, you're going to win that gunfight if you're getting your bullets on target. And then you do have to reload quite often because of the rate of fire. I did find myself reloading quite a bit. So something you're going to want to do and be mindful of when you're using this class is make sure you take cover and you slow down, especially when you're reloading, because usually my deaths would occur when I would reload. Unfortunately, I'm in a little bit of a habit of reloading after every kill, and it's causing me a lot of issues, something I've got to break. But this class overall, the best class I've ever played with. If I get into a match late and my team is down, this is the class that I go with so that I can ensure that I'm getting my kills and I'm getting on an even playing field. Because typically when you get into a match late, it's because somebody's quit and because the other team is dominating them and they've probably got score streak ups and everything else. But this class right here, guys, if you want an opportunity to get a nuke, if you want an opportunity to go on long kill streaks, if you want to get your score streaks, this is the class for you, because this will absolutely help you do that. It doesn't take a lot of skill to get your score streaks. Really, you just need to play a game type that's going to allow you to get about 100 points per kill, and you will be able to play the objective, and you'll be able to get your score streaks. And typically with this class, and I know in previous COD installments, you could actually see what your KD was with each weapon. I don't see that, or I haven't found that to be the case with Black Ops 4, but I would estimate 2.5 to 3 KD with this weapon. It's really, really good. It's really, really overpowered. In this class, like I said, this is my go-to class. This is the one I like to go with. As I'm trying to make other videos with other weapons for best class setups, there's a huge noticeable difference. And again, the Spitfire is a great weapon on its own, but it's not alone the best thing. You have to really put some good perks on there. You have to put some good attachments, and this class right here is by far, I've tested several, this is by far the best one. And if you throw Scavenger on, even if you're not running Crash, it's just a wasted perk, because yeah, you'll get extra ammo, but it's not going to help you accomplish your mission or accomplish your goals. So anyway, guys, we're coming down to the end of the video. I appreciate you watching. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if it's your first time here. As always, guys, my name is Graybeard Gamer, and I am out.